What's up YouTube, it's NG, the Neon X, and I'm back. If you are coming from a slab phone, or even another foldable device, the Surface Duo is in a class all by itself. So to help you properly embrace the transformative experience that the Duo and the Duo 2 have to offer, here is Surface Duo Tips and Tricks number 8. The transformative experience.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Now, you guys know I always start my tricks and tips with my current background. Being that I call this the transformative experience, it only seemed right I use transformers. Now here we have probably one of the most dynamic Transformers backgrounds that I found, and I did go looking through quite a few. As always, you have the Autobots versus the Decepticons, but this art style really stands out to me. You know, all of the angles, the composition of the entire picture itself, this works really well. I don't know the artist, but I'm really impressed with what he did here. So many of the Transformers are in this image. Of course, you have your Optimus Prime, your Megatron, your Bumblebee, Jazz, Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, Triptychon in the background there, RC, just a plethora of some of my favorite Transformers, all in this image, all redesigned for my viewing pleasure. Did you hear that? To go with the background image that I have in the foreground, I also have the Autobots and the Decepticons symbol on my lock screen. Because of the way the Duo is, of course you're able to have one on each, so as always you can decide which team you want to root for at any given time. You can choose your bad side if that's who you want to be, or flip it over and be an Autobot and have everything you need right here. It's a really great background for a really great device. If you watch YouTube consistently like I do, and are not too thrilled with the constant interruptions, this app is called Vanced. Now, Vanced is a YouTube app that somehow bypasses all of the commercials and interruptions you get when you use regular YouTube. So here we have, as you see, the YouTube app open and the Vanced YouTube app open. Let's press play on YouTube, and we have a commercial for AirPods. Nothing wrong with AirPods, and if you didn't know that these were out, you might be actually interested in this AirPods commercial. And now we have yet another commercial we can skip in 4 seconds. Now, here is the video itself. Now let's pause and let's just go straight to Vanced. Vanced blocked an ad for you. It said right down there.
This is a 2012 Fisker Karma, and it's one of the weirdest luxury sedans in the automotive world.
But as you see, so you see right there, if you don't want to be burdened with continuous interruptions on your vids as you watch, get the Vanced YouTube app. It even comes with a nice little search that is in your pull down bar, so you can search right from the bar. So that is the main draw of Vanced Kit YouTube player. No longer do you have to deal with commercials or interruptions in your vids. You have access to everything YouTube has, what's hot, what's not. You can go into your personal subs. You can even go into your history, your watch later. Everything YouTube has, this taps into. Vanced Kit is a wonderful option for those who don't want to spend the extra money on YouTube, but get the ad-free YouTube experience. Now, you all know I love to write. One of the newest additions that I have to my writing app collection is Quick Memo. Now, I did take you guys on a short explanation of this app some vids ago. As I said, I use it very much at work, which I do. But here, let me just go, for those of you who didn't see that particular vid, let's just go over it one more time. This app just lives right here in your pull down menu. So if ever you want to take a quick note, someone is telling you something, you need to write it down real quick, you press it and it just appears. Now, here I have it as white. Wait, sorry. Here I have it as white, but you don't need to have it as white. You might want a yellow background, reminiscent of those yellow pads. You might want notes where you can actually write on lines. You might want it to look more neat, and you can. Don't mind my handwriting. You might even want a graph paper if you're going to try and graph something very quickly. Say you have a course, you have an idea, and you need to have the right paper to jot down what you are trying to do. I'm no mathematician. I don't use graph paper for anything, but I can see how this could be useful if that is what you do. Or you can just go with plain black, because black works for everything. But there's also transparent. Let's say you're online. Let's go to a quick web page. Here we have Carvana. I have been looking at trucks. I'm getting impatient waiting for the Cybertruck and the Ford Lightning truck. So I have been looking for a truck for myself. But suppose I was to choose this one and I want to show the wife this is the one. I would simply go into Quick Memo, and now it has the transparent coating and I can write what I want. Oh, that's the eraser. This one. Or suppose I want to be way more expressive. I can always change the color. And I can change it to red or purple. I have a thing for my purples. I can change the size of the pen itself, how big I wanted the point to be. I can even change what it looks like when I actually write it down. So let's put on a yellow point, make it a little large with spray. And there you have paint. This one here is what I want. You can change it to a highlighter, shade over the truck. You can do whatever you want. It's a very easy to use app, and you can really get your point across very easily. Take a note, very easy, and then save those same notes. Save or share. Let's say I want to send it right to her. I can. Here goes my options to share. I can share in messages just once. Boom. There it is. share this to the group, shared, or if I'm not quite done, save. It is now saved, so when I do want to go back into it, it's there for me to go and adjust how I want. There you see it, screenshot captured, boom, easy. It's a great app to use, it's a great app to have, especially if you use a pen like I do and you like to jot things down. You can't go wrong with Quick Note or Quick Memo. Now, one of the things that makes the Note line of phones and now the Fold line of phones so useful is the side panel they have that has all of their little apps easily accessible within the panel. Now, I have become so used to that with my Note 8 and the Fold as well. I had wanted something very similar on the Duo. Now, I kind of forgot that I had this app on my original Galaxy Fold for so long, because it just became such a common thing that I use. I didn't remember that I actually added it to the device myself. And this app is called Edge Screen 10. What this app does is allow you to store any app you want in a little side panel here for easy access. Now, no, it doesn't just have to be apps. You can store websites. You can store different functions of the phone. You can store contacts. So no longer do you have to close an app or reduce an app to get to certain things. Now I know that the Duo has 2 screens, so most likely you won't have an app to close. But here is a perfect example of how or why you might want to use something like this. Let's say you're in full screen web mode and you are going. Note, you lose all of your functions at the bottom of the phone. You have access to nothing down there. But now, with this, you can easily jump into any app that you might find useful for what you are doing without leaving this. They're no longer down there, but you no longer have to close this down to get back to it. So depending on what you have in here, you can either just open another app, and there it would be. See? Very simple. Now, why would you want YouTube and the calculator? I don't know. But if you want the internet to run some numbers here, then from there you might want to say, oh, let me call the wife or call whoever. Boom, there you go. Very easy. And note, when you go into a contact, you have all of these options here. So if you have these apps actually set up, you can use this little pull-out drawer and contact any of them via any of the options, whether it be a call, a text, Line. I don't use Line or Viber, but I do use Skype and WhatsApp. So you can easily contact anyone you have in your pull-out menu. So one of the most useful features of this app is when you don't want to have to scroll all the way through to get to a certain app. For example, when I'm ready to go to sleep, I flip my phone over to the tablet mode, roll it over, and I go into my huge clock. Easy. Knowing that huge clock app is in my app drawer or all the way on the last page. Now I have quick access to it from anywhere at any time. When it's time to go to sleep, it's time to go to sleep, and you are good. Another useful feature of this app, let's say you're in YouTube once again. and you just want to be able to get to an app from playing in tent mode, again, just touch on the app and there you go. You don't need to close out your YouTube to go to whatever you want. As long as it's something you have in here, there it is, easy to get to. Perhaps YouTube Studio wasn't the best app to showcase it, because it always goes into its vertical mode, but you get the idea. Edge Screen Note 10. I think it is an invaluable app to have, not only on the Duo, but on any foldable device, or no, on any device in general, simply because it allows such easy and quick access to what you consider the more important applications to your mobile life. Now, as you guys know, on all of these tips and tricks videos, I have at least one accessory I feel will really help complete the Duo experience. This time around, the accessory I have for you is probably one of the most important accessories I found for this device. I know that a lot of you complain there's nowhere to put the Duo pen, whether it be my bamboo ink or the Surface Slim Pen 1 or 2. There's nowhere on the device itself to actually house the pen, so it's always on you. You gotta put it in your pocket, or you gotta put it in your bag. But what I found works so well, I don't know how I didn't think of this before. I give to you the Surface Loop. This little adhesive here has a nice little loop attached to it, and the pen slips right in and sits perfectly on the back of your device. Now, this here I found on Amazon. It was actually a guy who was trying to find a way to keep his S Pen for his Z Fold 3 on his device at all times. I saw what he did, and I decided to try it myself for my Z Fold 3. It didn't work out as well as I had hoped. I ended up getting a case. But on the Duo, this little attachment here works wonders. The pen sits amazingly flush with the device. It sticks so perfectly against it, it's almost like it was made for it. Now, I wouldn't recommend attaching this to your device unless you have some type of skin on it, because it is pretty hard to come off. And depending on what you're doing on the device, you might want to take this off at certain points. Like you cannot go into phone mode with it, because of course the pen is in the way. But if you take out the pen, it does fit almost perfectly flush with it. Like, it's just a little bit thicker than it was with the bumper itself. Actually, you know what? It's a lot like the Duo 2. So if you want to know what it's like to hold the Duo 2 in phone mode, get one of these little sticky looped adhesives here, and that's pretty much what it feels like. But all that aside, this little loop here holds the Surface Duo pen or the Slim Pen or any other pen you may have so well. I don't know how something like this simply doesn't come with the device in general. This little loop, probably one of the, no, I kid you not, probably the best accessory I have for my Duo. Once I put this on, I have never left home without it. My pen's always with me because it's right on the device. With that said, my name is Angie, the Neon X, and the transformative experience the Duo has to offer, this is what I'm into.